take a look at the new soccer freaking game mode. So this time I'm shooting the shot at Glungus, dude. Okay, bang, and then I score on him. Guys, there's a reason I'm putting top 150 question mark, okay? We don't know, but TCD members, Zoink, Vipex, and some other people told me they could see this being on the list. I'm so... Oh my god! Take a look at the new soccer freaking game mode. So this time I'm shooting the shot at Glungus, dude. Okay, bang, and then I score on him. Guys, there's a reason I'm putting top 150 question mark, okay? We don't know, but TCD members, Zoink, Vipex, and some other people told me they could see this being on the list. I'm so... Oh my god! Take a look at the new soccer freaking game mode. So this time I'm shooting the shot at Glungus, dude. Okay, bang, and then I score on him. Guys, there's a reason I'm putting top 150 question mark, okay? We don't know, but TCD members, Zoink, Vipex, and some other people told me they could see this being on the list. I'm so... Oh my god! Take a look at the new soccer freaking game mode. So this time I'm shooting the shot at Glungus, dude. Okay, bang, and then I score on him. Guys, there's a reason I'm putting top 150 question mark, okay? We don't know, but...
Oh no. Oh yeah. the freak? This is the shit I watched back when I was just a teeny weeny embryo, bro. It's not like embryo.
you want this for lunch?
Okay.
You are about to witness me complete the most soul-crushing, butt-changing, life-threatening challenge I have ever had the misfortune of checking myself. What up? This video is parts by Art got me about how Roblox game almost made me lose my sanity. Remember when I complained about how hard started playing on Battle Bricks? That was nothing compared to this nightmare. You already know this is going to be very painful, so easy. Smash the like button and deserve it for subjecting myself to this torture. Anyway, I'm gonna pass you off to me from 2 weeks ago. Happy, innocent, carefree, and completely unaware of just how bad things can get. Listen up, my brother. You in blood now. It is a pure blood awesomeness for you to feed. Are you the best blood there is? Only true blood king never. Wait. Leave if you're a weak. The thing about this game is people apparently hate it. 30% is not a very good score. Lots actually played this game a little bit before, and let's just say I understand why that rating is so low. Get me in here. Here we go. I'm actually 14 out of 51 complete, but because I hate myself and I want this video to be complete, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I don't know how to do that, but I'm gonna figure it out. Okay? I can probably just. It's over, dude. Now we're at the final stage in what it's called. You beat the game. You have to walk up to this guy over here. Says it is what holds this place together. And then you get chased by Enfoso. I don't know who Enfoso is, but you get chased by him, okay? And it actually took me a while to figure out how to do this because I didn't realize you could hold shift you run. Because it's the only part in the entire game. Well, except for the Void Eye part, where you actually have to do that. There is no other running in the game. So yeah, forgive me for being a little confused for a second on that one. But yeah, you just run, okay? And it doesn't matter if you get the smiley faces or not. Same thing with the coins in the Mario one. I think it's like for completion if you want to get a badge or something. But mainly you just want to get through it, you know? And like I ain't backtracking to collect these happy faces. Or Enfoso is gonna murder me, dude. You think I want to be murdered by Enfoso? No. Now I'm running through the Void Eye Research Center. That's pretty cool. You just run back through all the levels, obviously. And there is a timer here. There's a minute 20 seconds left until something happens. At first I thought I was gonna die after the timer ended. It's mess up your running. It actually kind of moves your character. Oh man. Okay, so now Enfoso comes out. And the worst thing he can do is mess up your running. It actually kind of moves your character. As long as you're nowhere near him, it's fine. And the only other hard part is coming up right here when you gotta jump on the balls. But it's actually not that hard because the smiley faces are all the balls you need to jump on. So as long as you jump on the smiley face balls, you're good. Wow. I want to be happy about this, but sometimes I feel like I'll never be happy again. And it's all your fault, Wanabe. I do think I have the perfect avatar for this game, don't you? So after they give you your score, tell you how many times you died, they kick you out of the game. You win, guy. You know, the most impressive thing about this whole experience is I put myself through hell just for a unit I don't need in the Battle Bricks. Oh my god, what? Are you a blood out? You might just be one of the Bloods. Has the ability to passively block any sorts of damage, which reduces it to a third if it's non-lethal. Also granting him a crit to deal extra damage on his next swing. Yeah, as far as I know, this guy's not even good. Also, his alt is blood, but spelled correctly. How much blood is in you? Are you truly a Blooda? Upgrades his weapons to improve his bloodshed performance, gets enough kills, increases the amount required each learn a new game and then beat it in the middle of Blood Obby. And the worst part is, for level 41 we have Void Eyes Research Center. Blood Obby becomes a different game for a little bit. It stops being an obstacle course and answer it. Why later. So at this point, nothing crazy is happening. This guy's not chasing me very fast. I'm just going around and trying to answer questions correctly. At least the questions I'm allowed to answer correctly. By the way, I forgot to. You are about to witness me complete the most soul-crushing, butt-clenching, life-ruining challenge I have ever had the misfortune of subjecting myself to. Blood Obby. This video is part Let's Play, part documentary about how a Roblox game almost made me lose my sanity. Remember when I complained about how hard restart stream was in Battle Bricks? That was nothing compared to this nightmare. You already know this is going to be very painful, so please smash the like button in advance, because I think I deserve it for subjecting myself to this torture. Anyway, I'm going to pass you off to me from 2 weeks ago. Happy, innocent, carefree, and completely unaware of just how bad things can get. Listen up, my Blooda. You in Blood World now. 50-ish stages of pure blood awesomeness for you to beat. Are you the best Blooda there is? Only true blood kings never quit. Leave if you're a crip weakling. The thing about this game is people apparently hate it. 33% is not a very good score, but I've actually played this game a little bit before, and let's just say I understand why that rating is so low. Alright, just get me in here. Here we go. I'm actually 14 out of 51 complete, but because I hate myself and I want this video to be complete.
Is the geoplushy possibly accurate? Okay, let me be real for a second. The little geoplushy can finally become real. The only thing we need to do is reach 200 pre-orders within the next 10 days, which is a real challenge, but I believe we can do this. This is a limited edition that I'll probably never do again, by the way. And honestly, this is a dream I've always had. Point forward to support it and get this little guy into your room. Go place your order right now through the link in the description. And check the video below for more info. Is the geoplushy possibly accurate? Okay, let me be real for a second. The little geoplushy can finally become real. The only thing we need to do is reach 200 pre-orders within the next... This mod lets you click between frames. Oh, so close, everyone knows about this. But what about click between blocks? This is a level where you have to click between blocks to make them appear exactly when you need them, and not click when you don't. It gets progressively harder all the way to the end where it starts getting pretty crazy like this. So what do you think? This mod lets you click between frames. Oh, so close, everyone knows about this. But what about click between blocks? This is a level where you have to click between blocks to make them appear exactly when you need them, and not click when you don't. It gets progressively harder all the way to the end where
Legend, bro.
请输入时钟模式、蓝牙模式、蓝牙已连接。
Walk around a Disney park today, and you'd expect to see excited children dragging their parents from ride to ride. Instead, you'll see adult enthusiasts running everywhere, screaming, driving around on mobility scooters, documenting every inch of their experience on TikTok. These are Disney adults. And here they are in their natural habitat, riding scooters around just 20 years old because they can't walk, eating about 5 desserts in one day to the tune of 10,000 calories, crying at random stuff in the streets. Childless adults now outnumber families at the park. Some visit hundreds of times a year. Some even quit their jobs and relocate to Orlando to go every single day. And it might just be funny on the surface. It might just seem like some stupid, immature people. But it all begins to fall into place when you realize that Disney is an empire, one that spread its roots further and wider than any other company in history. It's consumed some of the most beloved franchises in modern culture: Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, The Simpsons, Indiana Jones, and swallowed up media giants like 20th Century Fox, ABC, ESPN, National Geographic, and Hulu, all absorbed into one giant corporate ecosystem. They also operate 12 theme parks worldwide, a fleet of cruise ships, and an entire planned residential community in Florida. Its combined properties attract over 150 million visitors a year, more than any other major attraction on the planet by an order of magnitude. Even if you don't realize it, you barely go a single day without encountering something Disney owns. The films and programs on the street, the shows that kids everywhere watch in the morning, the merchandise in the shop window, the theme park advert on your feed. And like every empire, Disney has its castles and, most importantly for its survival, its subjects. Because the most valuable thing that Disney owns can't be found on their balance sheet. Instead, it's the loyalty of millions of adults who don't just enjoy Disney, but embrace it with every fiber of their being, where Disney has truly become their religion. Now, the analogy of Disney adults as the subjects of the empire works so well because this is a fantasy universe manufactured for subservience. And if you want to make anyone subservient to your brand, rich, generally middle-class adults without any religion are usually the holy grail. The overwhelming majority of Disney adults are just white, college-educated North Americans, many of whom spend up to $10,000 a year on just Disney alone. And a lot of the time, most are spending considerably more.
It's gonna be about 4,000 for 2 days.
You can easily burn through $1,000 in a single day at the park without even doing anything extravagant. A Disney cruise can set you back more than a fortnight in Southeast Asia, and yet for most, it's the only holiday they take. So think about what that really means. These are people with the money and freedom to go anywhere in the world, to explore different cultures, try new experiences, and see things that might genuinely challenge or change them. But instead, people just seem to come again and again to the same place, again and again. Not because they weighed up their options, but because nothing else even occurs to them. Some will even go into huge debt to maintain their Disney addiction, even when their salaries don't stretch far enough to cover it.
So the passes were 2,000.
What? Fucking what? You spent $1,000 on being at Disney. I'm here. $1,000 just on the Disney crap. For a day. For one day.
Some don't just visit regularly. They restructure their entire lives around proximity to the parks. From there, you can visit every day if you want, and some people practically do.
How does visiting nearly 3,000 times sound? Well, that has been done by this man, Jeff Wrights. He started visiting the park every day in 2012.
Think about how the rulers of ancient empires made their money. They owned the land, controlled the culture, and dictated traditions and rituals, and the subjects paid for the privilege. Disney has achieved something remarkably similar in our world, and it's getting stronger every single year. Disney adults naturally date other Disney adults through dedicated dating sites because who else would understand?
Didn't we find a Disney adult dating site?
We did.
I mean, that shows you that you can find somebody in this world.
You can get married in front of the castle. You can get married in the haunted mansion. And instead of a traditional tiara, some Disney adults choose bespoke pieces to get married in, like these Mickey Mouses made in collaboration with some of the world's most premium brands, like Vera Wang, Honeymoons, also Disney, or maybe a Disney cruise. And if you're now thinking this must be as far as it goes, then you haven't heard of Golden Oak. Golden Oak is essentially for the boss level Disney adult. It's the most extreme form of constructing your life around Disney. It is a community within Disney World itself, made up of eye-wateringly expensive mansions that start at around $10 million. Homes are built to Disney spec with statues and paintings of characters in the gardens and on the walls, floors, and ceilings. So now we have homes, holidays, and relationships all inside the Disney universe. So what's left? Identity itself. Disney doesn't actually allow adults to wear full costumes to the park. That's reserved for children, so employees dressed as characters remain the only real version. So Disney bounding means dressing to evoke a character without technically being in costume. Now the word means that these people are bound for Disney, headed that way to evade the costume beliefs, but it portrays a deeper truth. These adults are both bound by Disney, a soft, comfortable cage that poses no challenges, and they are bound to Disney. They eschew individual identity and bolt themselves onto these characters instead. And then there's the most disturbing ritual of all, one that came to light through horrified employees. As you can see throughout this video, we use a lot of stock footage. And one thing that never really gets talked about in video creation is just how much time gets burned finding the right assets. Not just the editing, but hunting for the footage, the music, the sound effects, graphics, all across different sites. Which is why I'm proud to say this video is sponsored by Storyblocks. We've been using them throughout all of these videos for years, because Storyblocks gives you unlimited downloads of really high quality stock media with just a simple monthly subscription. There's no prorated fees, no surprise licensing issues, just access to everything in one place. And that includes 4K and HD videos, music, sound effects, images, templates, and motion graphics. All created by real artists, not just generic filler content. Which is why the footage actually feels authentic, not like stock you've seen hundreds of times before. And because it's unlimited, you can browse through and collect interesting footage that helps you tell compelling stories, like we've been doing in this video you're watching right now. With Storyblocks, you can try different edits, test ideas, swap music, change pacing without ever worrying that every download costs extra. It also just saves you a ton of time if you make videos. Storyblocks members save an average of 3.5 hours a week, especially with things like pre-made templates and motion graphics that you can drop straight into Premiere Pro or After Effects. And everything you download from Storyblocks is royalty-free and fully licensed, so you're protected forever. Which is why if you need unlimited stock media at one set price, head to storyblocks.com/moon or click the link in the description below. Disney adults often choose Disneyland as the final resting place for the remains of their loved ones. Employees have taken to social media to admit that they regularly have to go and clean the ashes of a dead person.
One custodian told the Journal the Haunted Mansion probably has so much human ashes in it that it's not even funny. Custodians told the Wall Street Journal that the job requires a special vacuum cleaner, which comes out at least once a month.
Disneyland is now recognized as one of the most popular places on Earth to scatter ashes. Employees receive special training on how to clean ashes. The company even has a special code word grandma to alert employees that more ashes need to be cleaned. While it's quite morbid for us to think that these people's ashes are being vacuumed up by a 17-year-old on minimum wage and dumped in a bin with leftover turkey drumsticks, for Disney adults it's a fitting end to its Disney life. So from birthdays to weddings to death, every stage of life channeled through the same corporation. The psychoanalysis Eric Fromm called this automaton conformity, the idea that people escape the anxiety of freedom by adopting pre-packaged identity. You don't have to figure out who you are if someone's already done it for you. You don't have to face the terror of choice if the choices have already been made. This is exactly what Disney offers. Your identity off the shelf. Your character, your aesthetic, your community, all handed to you in a gift shop bag. They go so far as to engineer the physical environment to make sure it sticks. The parks use patented scent cannons called Smell It's hidden in walls and vents, firing specific fragrances at you hundreds of times a day. The olfactory system, meaning your sense of smell, connects directly to the brain regions for emotion and memory. Which is exactly why Disney invested so heavily in scent engineering. There are also over 30,000 unique paint colors across the parks, including a shade called Go Away Green, specifically designed to make infrastructure invisible to guests. The background music in the morning is fast and exciting. Evening music slows down to make you linger and shop, so the brainwashing extends from the physical environment in parks, which still constitutes the vast majority of Disney's profits, to its sprawling digital empire of content and franchises. They started handing each film to a different director with a different vision and no shared outline. For Star Wars, they spent 2 films building up the villain Snoke, then killed him off with no explanation, and then patched it over with somehow Palpatine returned. A line so lazy it became a meme as soon as the credits rolled. Then there was the infamous Snow White, which we've made tons of videos on before. Hundreds of millions were spent on a remake where the lead called the original Wizard and the Princess Stalker.
The guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
While the romance was gutted in favor of Golgoth's leadership arcs, nobody asked for where the dwarves were replaced with CGI and it completely bombed and everybody hated it, completely desecrating the original loved one. There's a pattern across everything Disney touches now, where ideology takes priority over storytelling. We've seen it with the conflicts and politics in Florida with just the parks alone, but also in movies and TV, characters are constantly rewritten to represent something, where villains have become strawmen for whatever ideological message the writers want to push. The old Disney movies at least told universal stories about love, loss, courage, and fear that could touch everyone. Now even Bob Iger himself had to publicly admit that Disney had been putting, quote, messaging over storytelling, and that he finally no longer tolerates it. When the CEO of a company is saying this out loud, you know the rot has gone deep. But Disney adults, as visible and extreme as they are, only represent the most obvious layer. They're the ones who wear their loyalty openly, but many of us can.
Okay. Grass. Boom. Brown. Black. Or gold and pink.
Tribute 2, and often without realizing we're doing it. Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar fans didn't sign up for Disney. Disney just comes for all of us. If you probably watch anything on TV, it's coming to you. When Disney buys these companies, it acquires fandoms. Entire generations of people who had built deep emotional connections to these franchises suddenly found themselves at the company's mercy. And in some cases, the result has been nothing short of vandalism, as we saw with the failed Star Wars movies and series, or the constant Marvel reruns that seem to get worse and worse and worse, let alone all the countless other franchises ruined in the blatant crusade of profit extraction. Now, you might roll your eyes at the grown woman sobbing over Goofy or Mickey Mouse. Disney is an all-consuming beast.
The Slime Ranch is a peaceful place, full of quirky and colourful slimes that I definitely treat well. Also, there definitely won't be any outbreaks of demon slimes that try to eat my face. Ow, you bit my face. Complete 100%, I'll have to get all 57 achievements, including incinerating chickens, drowning myself, and completing the extremely stressful speedrun rush mode. And I also set out to automate a slime profiteering empire with the goal to earn well over 1 million gold. Welcome to 100% of Slime Rancher.
1,000 light years away from Earth, on a planet known as the...
I need to watch Slime Rancher 2. I never played Slime Rancher 2.
I am a kind and gentle slime rancher, and all of my slimes are well cared for. To complete 100%, I'll be knocking over all 27 achievements, setting up a drone automation empire, filling in all 467 Slimepedia entries, opening all 111 pods and shadow doors, and hunting down elusive gold slimes for hours in order to unlock all 38 upgrades. Along the way, I might even save Rainbow Island and the entire world from being turned into gold. Welcome to 100% of Slime Rancher 2. Alright, Slime Rancher 2? Look at this! That's such a sick loading screen. You may be able to tell from the 2 in Slime Rancher 2 that this is a sequel. So I began with some lovely art explaining how Beatrix the Bow got on after the shenanigans of the first Slime Rancher. Basically, a random boat showed up, and she was like, yeah, why not? And across the slime sea she went, and soon ended up at Rainbow Island, the setting for our new adventure. And so here I am, enjoying the painterly art style at my new ranch. Give me the pinks. Give me the pink. I sucked up my first few pink slimes into my backpack and chopped them out into this corral. Alright, we got the plort market. Please sell plorts. Plorts are what pop out of slimes if you feed them. Basically, slime poops. I spotted some stairs, so down I went. This was a bit of a lab situation, with a fabricator over here for crafting upgrades, and a refinery over here for storing science materials. Look at this fella. Glow Foxifer. This cute thing is a slime toy, and this is the Slimepedia, a giant compendium that I needed to get to work filling by discovering all the glory of Rainbow Island. There was a bit of a cave system down here, so I had to poke around. Is that the slime sea? And I headed back up to give the fox toy to my pink slime. Toys help keep slimes happy, and it's of course good to keep your prisoners in high spirits. Corrals can be upgraded, but I only had 250 new bucks to my name, so that'd come later.
Thank you.